What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. You saw the thumbnail. Finally came in. We got Hawas Fire that came from Fragrance Buy. Right around 40 bucks right out the gate. Probably the most affordable they've ever released the Hawas flanker at. It's down below if you want to check it out. And yeah, I remember when we did an iFragrance split screen live stream and we read the write-ups, like reinventing the art of perfumery. Some complete BS write-up kind of stuff that designer brands usually do. So shout out to Rasasi trying to follow that. But I'm confident this is going to smell good. They are 3 for 3 with Hawas. The original Ice and Black are all really good. Ice is the one to beat in my opinion. I don't remember the notes exactly, but I'm sure it's going to be fresh and super enjoyable. I'm really confident it's not going to be a bad fragrance, but let's see what kind of nuance we can get from it. Stay tuned. Here we have it. Red to deep blood red gradients. It looks cool with the black cap. It definitely I got this pet peeve about having the snake tail in the front. It does look cool. I've always liked the Hawas bottles. They are pretty nice. Sticker's coming off a little bit on the bottom, but that's okay. It's not like it really matters in the first place. Anybody that wants to read the fine print, there you go. Eau de Parfum, Rasasi on top. They usually click into place. It's got a little wiggle, but it's actually holding pretty well. And the atomizers are pretty good. Nothing on, well, there we go, this hand. Big sprays, big sprays. So I'm guessing aquatic, fruity, fresh. Like maybe a little bit of spice. This is a guess, I'm breathing through my mouth. Hand is nice and drenched. The NWO logo, first of all, is for life. Obviously it's a tattoo, so it's definitely for life. But we're drenched. That's familiar. That's familiar. A little minty. Not the same kind of minty. It's more like a geranium minty. Like, or more like cypress green minty even. Because cypress comes across a little minty sometimes. This minty fresh green smell. Not the same as ice. It's very fruity. Very fruity. This is the fruitiest one of the bunch so far. That is familiar. That is so familiar. What are you similar to? That is so familiar. And it may not be one particular thing, but it's got familiarity where it's reminding me of something. I haven't watched anybody's review because I don't want to know what anybody else thinks. I want to know what I think. I like to test my nose all the time. But I'm curious what others say. If anybody pinpointed it's really similar to something in particular. It's so familiar. It smells like something I have. What? This is going to drive me crazy. Because if somebody's figured it out, it'll be on Trograntica. So normally I'm going to do Parfumo to pull the notes up and cross-reference, but I'm still going to check Trograntica. I'm going to check both to see what the smells like section has to say, because there's something. It's going to be an aha moment when I see it. It's a like a peppered fruitiness with a little like minty green. I have to pull this up. Let's pull up Old Firefox. We are heading over to Parfumo. All right, normally there'd be a little SpongeBob thing right here, but I'm talking through it, so let's see what we got here. Hawas Fire, 2025. Amber, Driftwood, Musk, Patchouli, Cardamom. So it's got to be the cardamom, I guess. Orange Blossom, Plum, and Apple. That's why it's so fruity. Plum, Apple, Bergamot, Cinnamon, Lemon. The base looks like the top, and the top looks like the base. It looks backwards. Because the top notes say Amber, Driftwood, Musk, Patchouli. That's like a base lineup. And the base says Apple, Bergamot, Cinnamon, Lemon. That looks like a top lineup. I think it's flipped. It's very fruity, spicy, fresh. Smells like sections. The only thing is somebody put Imperial Valley. Kind of. Like Care. Khair. The clone from Paris Corner. Not Care Pistachio. The one that's just Care. Kind of like that. is kind of like that. But better. Quality smells better. Let's still check Trograntic. I want to see. I'm typing Trograntic in. Such a habit. Just like Sloma Shop. I was going to look at something from Sloma Shop because they had Strong With You Parfum, but shows 1 to 2 weeks. And any of you familiar with Joma Shop knows 1 to 2 weeks means next season. You'll get that shipped to you. So more power to you that ordered from them. Wasp Fire. Marine Mineral Aromatic Amber Salty Aquatic. It ain't aquatic like that. It's a little salty aquatic, but it's more fruity and spicy than anything else. They're a little off on these accords here. That'll make you believe it's just a freshwater aquatic. It's totally different note breakdown. Clary sage, marine notes, Egyptian jasmine, mineral notes, amber, ambergris. I get fruity. I get very fruity. Like very fruity. Either Parfumos, it's put what it smells like and it's not the real note breakdown released. And Fragrantica put the real note breakdown, but it smells more like Parfumo's note breakdown. Parfumo's note breakdown makes more sense to me, but I don't know who's accurate. Seems to be a strong performer. People seem to be saying Imperial Valley, Gisa. Yeah, let's look at the notes on Gisa. Aromatic leather, oud, amber, fresh, spicy. Bergamot, pink pepper, Divana, oud, amber, rosemary, leather. See, that note breakdown makes more sense too. Only I'm still getting fruitier than that. People are relating it, and it's got more thumbs down than thumbs up to the different Profondo flankers. I don't think it's near as aquatic as Profondo. Not even close to as aquatic. It's very fruity. Fruity, but not over the top sweet. Juicy fruit, peppered. That's cinnamon that's listed on Parfumo, but spicy, but it doesn't warm it up too much. And a bit aquatic. This... All right, so let's get the relatability that's what's been boggling my mind and holding my focus. But the crux of the matter is this smells incredible. This is super mass appealing. This is either going to get critical acclaim for being just their best smelling flanker, or critical acclaim for, oh my God, it's so redundant to so many other things. This is another mass appealing fragrance. We've got too many of these. So there's going to be both sides of the coin. If you just want to smell good with a good performer that costs not much, $40, that's what this line is for. Hawas, this is less chemically synthetic smelling than original Hawas. I put this on par with ice. That's the battle. Fire and ice. Go figure, right? Fire and ice, I think, is the battle in this line for which is the best. Some people say, no, I still love the original the most, and that's cool. And black, if you like oak moss Hachivat smelling fragrances, it's one of the best interpretations I've ever smelled that's similar to Hachivat. Loads of oak moss. Real fruity at the top, loads of oak moss. This is fitting of a red bottle flanker, though, because I think elements of like Polo Red and stuff like that, Eros Flame even a little bit, like the spicy woodiness of that. This is much fruitier than an Eros Flame, but red bottle designers, this kind of goes in line with them. Spiced fruity fragrances, that's most red bottle fragrances. Mont Blanc Legend Red. That's another one. Kind of falls into this profile. So if you like stuff like that, you will like this. And this might be better than most of what I just named. Maybe not better than certain Polo Red flankers, but on par. Not the coffee ones. I'm talking like Polo Red EDP, Polo Red EDT, Polo Red Remix. Like the ones that aren't loaded with coffee. Not extreme and intense. Not the goats. Okay, that's the goats. I really like this a lot. They delivered again. I think scent alone, and it's popping off of skin too. And this oil sheen is not drying at all. See how nice and shiny it is? It is like just as strong as when I first sprayed. I know it's only been 10 minutes, but this stuff's popping off skin. This is going to be a performance. This is probably going to be a beast. The other three are monsters. The other three are monster performers. All three. And I'm confident this is going to be a monster as well. 8.75 out of 10. Great, bordering outstanding. All of the Hawas fragrances are between 8.5 and 9. I think, anyways. I think they have yet to have a mediocre release in this line. I think they continue to put out what most people want. which is to smell really good, something that's going to have a high compliment factor, perform really well, and it's not going to cost a lot of money. That's what most people are after when it comes to buying a fragrance. Are women going to think this smells good on me? That's going to be the first question. Am I going to be able to smell it all day? And even if I go nose blind, is everybody else around me going to be able to smell it all throughout the day? That's things that are most important to most consumers. Not people that treat it as not the hobbyists, not those that look at the art of it. Much more critical, much more about the wearing experience. It's not so much about performance and compliments. But with this, I feel like if you take away looking for an artistic interpretation of something new and looking at what works and what's going to smell good and that you could just spray on, go, be confident that you know you smell good and the likelihood of somebody else telling you how good you smell is really high, that's who this is going to serve. Another great release. I'll get this in the rotation next week. The temperature's creeping back up into the 60s, so we'll be back in that milder temperature, so stuff like this will shine. Because it does have a little bit of depth and density for being very fresh. It's peppered fruit, aquatic, woody, and nice and spicy. I like this. Hawas Fire, first impressions, 8.75 out of 10. Great, bordering outstanding. Well, that's my first impressions thought on this. Check back with me on my weekly rotation. It's usually on Sundays. On occasion, it shows up on Mondays, and that's where I update you on the performance I get from these. This won't be in the following rotation, which comes out tomorrow after this, because I'm planning on wearing John Barbados Oud today. So it won't make this week's rotation video, but the following Sunday, this will be in it. For any of you that want performance updates, because again, the performance I get is not necessarily what you're going to get. Like, asking somebody what the performance is really an irrelevant question in this space, that you can't convince people that it is irrelevant, because what I get you won't get. My nose is not your nose. My skin is not your skin. This ain't the variable. This one batch, we're all getting the same fragrance, the same batch. We're the variable. You know what I mean? But Rasasi continues to do good work in this line. So I appreciate you guys checking out the video. There's a link down below for Fragrance Buy if you want to check it out. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe before you leave. I'll catch you on the next one.